Welcome to the Acer Predator pre-show.
The Acer Predator pre-show is now, and the Predators have been identified. Today, I'll be bringing you North versus Vitality for the Intel Extreme Masters Minor here in Katowice, a city composing of roughly 300,000 folks, all ready to watch this major unfold in just a few weeks. My name is Trey Stunnis-Saranthus, and for the final time in the European Minor, we're going to be bringing you a little bit of the action here on the analyst desk, alongside of my crew of Natu and Sponge, or Sponge as they call him where he's from, the Upside Down, of course. Guys, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
It feels like we were just here yesterday.
I think we were.
At this exact time.
I do reminisce as being here.
It's like Groundhog Day almost, but there's no Bill Murray.
We get a day off, and then we do it all again next week. But
Right.
this one here has a lot of ramifications.
Damn right, Chad. A lot of implications going into this one, and you might wonder why, and I think Chad has had the best explanations here as to what exactly is the third place, I guess, prize?
I've been calling it the last chance qualifier, but I think the official term is the minor playoff. Now, the third place teams from all of the minors that are taking place over these 2 weeks will go down and they'll face each other for 2 spots to make it into the major. Now, the team who comes third here today will be joining the likes of, we just had Windstrike go down to Spirit. So we got Windstrike, the third place team here, we'll join them, and then we're going to have the team from the Asian Minor and the team from the Americas Minor playing off on Sunday, the 27th of January.
Then those little Finn guys that did a little swimming yesterday obviously came together, brought it in, and now they're going to be seeing a little bit of the major action. Congratulations again, Natu, to you and company. But this one, for what it's worth, you want to make it easy. You want to have that quicker path into the major, and this is the surefire way to do that because you damn sure don't want to find yourself playing through another bracket.
No, I mean, that's going to mean an extra trip coming over here, right? Just to try and make over to the major. So, yes, definitely this match has massive implications how things are going to pan out in the next few weeks.
Well, here's how things have panned out thus far. Let's take a look at the minor playoff bracket for Europe because, well, you might be surprised, but we have sent some familiar names home already. And, well, we're left with North Vitality, boys.
Well, Valiant's definitely put up a valiant fight in all of their matchups, and they surprised their individuals, the way that they approached the game. They stuck to their guns, and their guns were one of the things which were their highlights.
If they keep on grinding, I feel like, when the next circle for the major comes around, in a half a year or so, I feel like they'll be quite ready for that.
Yeah, they're definitely a threat. They look well prepared, and as a team, level-headed. So good steps forward for them in the year. We obviously just touched on ENT's qualifying, but we have the big one, which is a rematch, if you were paying attention to that bracket right there.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to take this time while we're in the pre-show to kind of ask you guys a little bit about some of the fallen, dare I say, some of the guys that actually did not make it through the bracket, will not be going on to the major, and maybe some of the key takeaways you took away from maybe the bigger names or the less known names that now are no longer in the contention.
So you're asking basically where are the nukes flying?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
At Mouse Sports probably at this point in time. I think they're going to be staying off the radar as far as social media goes for some time because these guys came into the tournament as the 4th best team in the world according to the HLTV.org rankings, and they went out unable to put up a fight at all.
Yeah, no, it was dreadful. Obviously, we came here thinking they'd be slotted in. They'd have one of those 2 spots, and then the rest of them would be fighting for that one, and then the last chance qualifier spot. But yeah, I mean, I think they got what they deserved. It appears that they were just not. Seems like there's something fundamentally wrong with this team, first of all, and them saying they were not prepared enough. I think it's just a lousy excuse, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the first tournament of the year. I think Chris J was saying in an interview they started practicing on the 9th of January. I'm like, that's an extended break if you ask me.
A little late.
Yeah, considering how big of a deal the major is for all these teams, I think those are the indicators for the fact that there's just a lot of things that are issues for this team.
Like things behind closed doors that maybe
exactly.
that we're not necessarily privy to. And maybe we can only speculate as to what has happened there behind closed doors. We won't be doing any more of that. I think we got that out of our systems. Because now in your systems, we're going to be jumping into the last best of 3 of this European minor. It's going to be Vitality and North squaring off, and you don't want to miss it, so be here with us when we come back.
The champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Think you've seen it all?
He raked it! Are you ready to be a part of Counter-Strike history?
ESL 1 returns to Cologne in 2019.
Think he can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and streaming the play to the world? Watch this.
Counter-terrorists win.
Think he can't get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Prepare for combat. Go forth and conquer.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
That's right, the Vodafone pre-match for a legendary place in a Supreme Major, but we're not quite all the way to the big boy stages yet. We're right here in the minors. We're about to close the gap and finish the story of the EU side of things. My name is Trey Sarandis. If you're just joining us, you're just in the nick of time. We got North and Vitality about to square off on could be 3 maps, maybe even 2. But the 2 people that are going to be making the most sense of that is going to be Sponge and Natu. And guys, do we have a good one on our hands, or do we have a good one on our hands?
We have a great one on our hands, and the little voice in my head told me the teams are getting ready and ready to go right now. So
We'll have to hear that.
I think having the number 1 and number 2 rated players in the tournament going toe-to-toe to decide which one grabs the major spot right here, right now, today is going to be relatively explosive.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for Vitality, ZywOo has been an amazing asset. I think maybe even a little bit too much of it, because you need the likes of RPK and Apex and pretty much all of the rest of them also chiming in. And the lapses we've seen from them have been the kind where it has been an issue for them to try to get those W's on the board.
Now, we could talk about W's, but let's talk about V's instead. We got Vitality, who's already on the stage, already getting ready to sit down, if not already sitting down. And perhaps you need to meet these French faces, and one of them, well, the storyline we've been harping on at least, would be ZywOo. Now, we could talk about MBK, RPK, Apex, and Alex. They also do their part, but ZywOo has been the main man and the focus of this entirety so far.
And he is the number 2 rated player in the tournament right now under Valder, who is number 1, and we saw the integral moments he had yesterday in the Ents game that they were unable to pick up on Train. But I want to just quickly highlight for everybody, because if you're not familiar with these faces, you're missing out. You should go do your research in your own time, because we need to talk about the fact this is a rematch. The first time these 2 teams went toe-to-toe, it was on Nuke. North's pick, Dust2 was the choice of Vitality, and Mirage was the third, which we didn't get to. 16-14, 16-12, both in favor of North, so there was close matches.
Yeah, very, very close ones.
Close matches, just like the closeness of this huddle here for North. Now, I was just actually in the parking lot throwing a tennis ball around with North before this matchup started. You guys didn't know that. I'm trying to give you that special insight right now. And now I can tell you they're probably ready.
The things you need to know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's very important, obviously. No, but like Chad was saying, obviously, Valde is an integral part of this team for them to be successful. He almost pulled his team through yesterday, unable to do it so in the end. But I think what I like about this team, though, is like their approach makes sense. They're definitely trying to build a team that's trying to play the numbers. And so far, I mean, yesterday, yes, it did run flat on Inferno. I felt like ENCE was a step ahead a lot of the time. And obviously, having that money control in that kind of game, it made maybe the scoreline look more ugly than it necessarily would have had to be.
Sure.
But I think in the big picture, this one, considering these two teams and when they're at right now, as we've seen from the previous matchup we had with being the two, that previous game could have easily gone the way of Vitality. I mean, they had a massive lead on Nuke, which they just
squandered.
Yeah, they just couldn't make it happen on the T side. They had the opportunities, so I feel like this is potential for 3 maps.
It could be 3 maps, but we don't know what 3 maps just yet. We're going to find out right about now. I think the vetoes are ready to come down this pipeline, so let's just see where we land here, fellas.
Look, the similar opening bans to what we saw last time. It's going to be curious to see if
the picks are interesting, right?
Yeah, if North go with, they brought Mirage further up, so they think that Dust 2 is more of an even playing ground here. Mirage is one historically, you know, that Danish teams have had more in the middle grounds, and North are going to back themselves in on Nuke. Hopefully.
I mean, if you go back.
No, you're right.
No, I mean, if you go back the line, I mean, a lot of the teams used to have Dignitas strategies on Rush. They still do, actually. Sure. And that's a Danish background right there.
Yeah, I think when we get to Nuke, the big change for Vitality has to be finding those opening kills. They were just running set pieces into the wall. Gade was smashing them out of the server on that top site with the Org. So the fact of the matter is that's one of the key changes that needs to happen for Vitality.
Interesting to see that Vitality would go rather Inferno for the third than Dust 2. I mean, that's that show that they've been going through the matches. North has played on Inferno. They've seen the weaknesses, but then on the other hand, North having those rough times on Inferno, especially yesterday, has given them time to try and adjust.
Yeah, the interesting part here too, like I've said, I've alluded to the fact that we do have some heavy hitters in the server. We do have some guys that are standing out above all, and perhaps even call them game changers at this point. We saw Zaiwu yesterday walking into B site, maybe making his own path. We didn't give this guy a machete, but he damn sure cleared his own way.
Well, he was definitely the winning factor for them to get past Valiance yesterday, right? Without him, they wouldn't have been able to do so. But we need to remember in the match they played earlier in the tournament against North on Dust 2, that was the one bad game that I think I've ever seen Zaiwu have. He was non-existent in that matchup. So maybe North have had a decent way to deal with him, which could be problematic. I didn't want to dwell on it at the time because it's the only time I've seen Zaiwu play bad.
Yeah, I mean, my concern for North is the fact that, like, considering that they have this way of playing really aggressive and mobile on the City side, which is good at the same time, but we've also seen Vitality play very passive in the beginning of the round, just kind of waited out what's happening. So it's going to be interesting to see how does that work out in the balance of the game. If North is going to be the one that's going to be a step ahead, and is that going to slow down Vitality far too much, or does it work the other way around? Is that going to benefit Vitality?
Well, we're going to Nuke, and yes, in a 16-14, it's very close. It's very down to the wire, and you have to think in the veto process, even if you're the winning team or the losing team, you're probably thinking, you know what, that was just right there. Either A, we took it, or B, we had it right in our hands. So, guys, who's going to be walking away with this one? I have to ask on a map-to-map basis.
So, first map, I am going to actually go with Vitality. I think their explosive style on a map like Mirage should really shine to get things off the bat for them.
I'm still going to steer the way of North here, honestly. I mean, I do believe that there's, considering the scoreline we had previously, a couple rounds here and there going the other way, screwing the economy for North, then yes, I'd say a world where Vitality could pick it up, but I have faith in North's Nuke.
Yeah, and all the tennis balls we were just throwing around in the parking lot.
That
definitely. It was kind of wild, but you know what? I've been a part of some wild things, kind of like this wild ride that has been the EU Minor. And the wildlings that we do have over on the commentary desk going to be Hugo Byron and Harry Russell. And I'm going to have to ask Harry to show the entire world what is on his feet right now as we get into this first map. Take it away, fellas.
Well, yeah, Trace, I'm not going to have the chance to show it off just yet, but, you know, we'll save that. We'll save the foot fetish for a little bit later on. Vitality versus North, yes. The last map, a match, rather, of the EU Minor.
Yeah, and a great one to be going into as well. The storylines are so interesting. Vitality, they were dragged forward by Zaiwu yesterday. North, they've had a great tournament, but they fell flat up against the ENCE in that final map that we saw last night. But this is where the road to recovery has to begin, Harry, as we head into map number 1. The final EU major qualifier spot is going to be coming in, but so is a pistol round. Vitality going for a fast A play.
Yeah, they're already pushing on in, and these smokes have fallen, so that does block off the man that was in jungle. And that's That's meant that Cadian's had to rotate into CT. The bomb
look at that plant.
They're just about able to get it. Now pushing through their own smoke. It's going to take up position over here towards jungle, and CT bomb is planted for them. MBK in with the first. Cadian is able to answer back, and do be sure to keep your eye on Alex. He's a very long way away, but he's watching this from short. The bomb planted for him. Kierby going to go ahead and mop that up. They know they have to try and find him, but it's still MBK putting up numbers here. In blink of an eye, it's Cadian left up in this 1v2. He's tapped on the bomb, and knives out. What a way to kickstart this pistol round. ZywOo gonna knife Cadian, and that's actually revenge for the other day, where Cadian knifed ZywOo on Dust 2, if you remember.
Yeah,
he's able to get revenge.
Yeah, that was actually in the Antico, right? Oh, wasn't it? Over on the T side. Yeah, great start there for Vitality as well. And I mean, we could talk a little bit about the storylines coming into this game, Harry. Currently, the only major winners left in the EU Minor, or at all that were in the EU Minor, are in this game. We've obviously got MBK and Apex, and then on the side of North, Kierby, who won it with Astralis. So, major winners, but only one's going to be qualifying for the major here and now. Obviously, there is that third place decider in a week's time, but this is really where you want to find your success. You don't want to have to sit around and have that in the back of your mind, wait for another week before you have another shot at it. So pressure really is on as we head into this Antico. Already North stacking that wrong bomb site. Cadian's going to spot the fast play into B, and he'll give it up straight away. We may see North try and hold on for exits here, disallow any SMG money to be made. Vitality have 3 of those as well. Deep CT positioning, and Alex, that's a good smoke because it cuts off 4 of these players, allows him to take the close fight to Cadian, and he will check the corner, but it won't work out. Cadian finds that kill.
Yeah, shouldn't really see all too much more transpire in favour of the Danes here, and doesn't look like it will. It's getting a bit shaky, and any damage they can find is great. They only have these pistols after all. Important to note, by the way, ZywOo picking up that knife frag in the round prior could have been pretty important factor in them bringing out the AWP early over on this T side, but you'll note that he actually dropped over to the rest of his team. So that's not something they have available to them in this round. North going to be in with their first buy back on the board. Cadian toying with the idea maybe of going glass cannon on this AWP, and indeed he will. So there's an AWP over on this CT side for North. If they're able to pick this up, that's great. If not, you run the risk of handing that AWP over to Vitality for free. We know how much of a beast ZywOo has been throughout the entire minor thus far.
And if there was any time for him to keep that up, to show us what he can do, it is going to be here in this final best of 3. Another A execute here for Vitality, sends a pistol round, but no smoke towards the spawn. It's Cadian in a line of sight. Gade peeks out wide, and he finds 2. That's massive. This is going to deny any chance of Vitality getting the bomb down here. They've got to fight tooth and nail as MBK is the last man up, but nice start. 1 on 4 needed. Close position from Valdi, but he doesn't want to peek considering he is low, and so teammates starting to rotate in. Man in the connector to join him, and another one hidden in the jungle. Now with no smoke on MBK, it's actually North smoking off the jungle there, tempting him to cross. And look at this wraparound as well. Valdi's gone for the full rotation in through the spawn. MBK, little does he know, but he is somewhat aware of the possibility. 60 seconds on the clock, and good call from Valdi not to overstep. Holds on to this push. MBK going to double back, and this should be a free kill for Valdi, but MBK didn't spot him there. And that's another round taken, this one from North. As the bomb gets dropped in the spawn, they will find their first CT start. Great work from Gade, and I think he's a talking point as well. He had an unbelievably good game, especially over on Train against Ents. But of course, wasn't a win that they picked up over there. Overtime game, they just fell short in, and now Vitality, they have to bounce back with their own buy round, but well, call this a buy round. There's only 2 AKs.
Yeah, really trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel looking into this round. ZywOo is going to be on one of those rifles, and he's turning his attention over towards mid early on in this round. Important to note in the round prior, that AWP wasn't saved. It was dropped over in CT. North had no one there to get it. Fight goes back and forth over in mid, but it will be Vitality taking control of this portion of the map. Alex allowed to retrieve that AUG rather, so slowly but surely over here, Vitality are building up a bit of an arsenal over in mid. Cadian going to get smoked off in the window. Kierby in the meantime boosted up on short. Oh, going to shut down Alex, and in response to this, Vitality, 3 players sneaking up through the short position. They know that there's 2 guys for North inside of B. That's how that boost would have had to have been assembled, and they've already found the first. That's AZ. He was the power bottom on that boost, and now North stacked up outside of this B bomb site. 3-on-3 in the retake.
And they have the utility for it as well. Full belt still on Gay to get them in here. He is on that long wrap, and we just saw him miss that short jump as well, so he's got to rotate all the way around. By the time he even gets up this catwalk, the bomb is going to be halfway ticked. So pressure really is on for North to speed things up. This was a round where Vitality did not have a lot to play with, but now they're fully armed. 3 guns on the 3 players as Gay gets caught throwing in a nade. His kill does still come through, but the round won't for North. Unfortunately, losing the 1 man up on short is, well, made them double back, and it will be a 3rd round taken for Vitality. A very early reset into this map, which is going to put the economy in question for North. Both these guns being held for either side as well. MBK not going to be hunting after that bomb, puts him to 12 HP. So it will be Vitality taking a very confident lead over on Mirage to start things off. Their map pick, remember. North calling out an early tactical timeout, and a good time to do it considering the money in a bit of a state.
Yeah, we saw that AUG carried forward over on MBK. I'm curious if he's just going to go and throw that onto ZywOo. Think about those performances yesterday, right? There was over on Inferno, obviously we saw ZywOo die in the pit with the AWP, and that's where we were like, well, this is surely going to be them getting wrecked, right? And then ZywOo had those incredible rounds. I think it was, what, 9 kills across 2 rounds with the AUG? So
yeah, he bounced back from getting killed by the bomb and then got an ace in the follow-up and rushed B on Inferno. I mean, that was just unbelievable in a situation where Vitality looked like that they were over, they were done. But he made it a reality for them. And now they have a strong start as well, but North still looking confident, smiles on their faces despite this early rocky road. An SMG buy coming in from the 3 players who did go down. We've got these couple of rifles still intact now. Vitality just won a similar round, so certainly a chance North can do it. We have that fast cap boost from Cadian, not messed up. You would hope your AWP can hit that consistently as well. It's such a good way to find an opening pick, but it's no AWP in the hands of the in-game leader. He's just hiding behind the smoke. Flash to the underpass, but North don't go ahead of it. Vitality very heavily set outside of this B site, but with the bomb still in top mid, they have to be very careful. Cadian creeping forward. He could get flashed into position from Valde. But right now, he's just waiting for contact. North don't want to jump the gun. We're early in the round, and Vitality holding this default are very much prepared for the possibility of the push. And here's where RPK has to come through middle now. If there's no flashbang, there's a good chance Cadian can get a 1-for-1, but RPK setting up utility, allowing ZywOo to get into mid, and that's when Cadian pushes. He hears the click of the nade, but he only gets damage.
He has still done a lot of it, though. Vitality once again at making mid control the emphasis of this default over on the T side, and now that they've got it, question becomes, what are they going to do with it? They still have a man up in Palace. That's MBK keeping the pressure on this A bomb site. You see Alex was watching B, not going to allow any aggression there. There has been a bit of aggression down towards ramp from Gade, and this has now really got to come into its own for North as he's thrust into what is essentially going to become a 1v5 here unless these rotations come in. He's been able to find MBK, the man up in Palace. He dethrones him, but Apex on this wrap round, trying to get the trade. Gade just able to dodge out of Palace, and this is where that damage that Cadian did earlier on in the round could come back to punish Vitality. They deal with Gade. Alex actually going to frag ZywOo, so now we're down into a 1v2, and there's only 5 seconds. This bomb has to go down, and Alex just going to get it planted in the nick of time. AZ pushes on in, and that will be him mopped up. Vitality able to recover. Alex really trying to redeem himself for that team kill that could have thrown that whole round away for Vitality. Of course, that was the force from North around a couple of weapons that they carried forward. So now this one's just going to be an eco and another chance for the Frenchman to continue to build up this early lead. A bit of bank over on the T side of their map pick.
So hard eco for North here. Vitality seemingly just want to speed this one up. Get again into that B bomb site that is unstacked for North. 1 man here, checked by MBK, and just as that happens, the round's probably over. North have very, very little invested into this round, just a deagle. You have Gade again on this corner with one upgraded pistol, but Apex is already picking up these rotations. MBK spotted a man in spawn. With that damage done, we're going to see the push from Gade. He could find 2. 1 D onto Apex, but With the AK being retrieved and North not really having any skin in this game, they're going to just be holding on for exits. Vitality do need to be careful considering one player is low, but other than that, they're just going to fall back. No need to chase these kills. Pressure more so on North than anyone else to try and find damage or try and find saved guns. Cadian is going to have that AWP in the next round regardless of what he can get done here, but at least peering into the B site to check for the possibility of a late lurk. But Vitality grouped up, exiting through the apartment, saving all their weapons. Cadian dead to the bomb, doesn't make a difference. And a 5-1 start for the Frenchmen, looking very good on their map pick.
One thing over on this side of North, though, I am liking to see off the bat, as you can see Gade, he's continuing that good form from yesterday. He's kind of been the man who has been able to find little tidbits here and there for this CT side. You have this buy back in, and Cadian is going to have the AWP out. Now, over on the side of Vitality, Zywoo's not graced with it. Instead, he's down on the Mac 10 as he holds that forward from the round prior. No head armor on anyone on North, so that Mac 10 does become deadly. And you can see they've got him leading the charge over here at the B bomb site. Maybe looking just to try and go for a fast play on the back of having this Mac 10. You can send in Zywoo first to try and find the openers. MBK is allowed to get out of mid in the meantime. He can look to try and wrap up through short as this B play comes in. AZ's dropped at the first hurdle, and that leaves Kierby over on short with a lot to do.
He's been cut off by the smokes. Double arch utility thrown in by Vitality, and that keeps him back. North now have to make the decision of whether they want to retake, and with no kit to play with, already a man down, the B site fully covered by these Ts, they're going to make the option to save. Probably the best decision given what they have, but because it's so early on in the round, it's very clear to Vitality, and MBK's already starting to hunt. Having a bit of a gander towards middle. Got a boost up in the CT spawn here as well from North. We've got Gade below one of his teammates. That's Cadian. No, Valde. Excuse me. But good angle to catch a player moving into the market. However, again, Vitality doing the exact same thing. Playing that safe exit, going into the part of the map that they know they have under their control, which is the apartment. Cadian gets one more on the exit, but that's going to be it for North. A 4-on-4 save and another round for the Ts.
Yeah, big issue for North there, and the reason why we do just see them play that more conservative style and fall off is the second you lose AZ in such a free way. I mean, you look at it, there was so little utility expended by Vitality in order to take that B bomb site. They throw 2 smokes down at short to block off Kierby, handful of flashbangs and 1 Molotov. That's all it takes. So in that retake, you would have been running the gauntlet against Molly's flashbangs. You saw they still had a smoke in play. North deciding just to play things safe and go for it again in this round. And this time you can see they've been somewhat conditioned, a little bit worried about this B bomb site now as they do play 3 players here off the bat.
And the reason being, of course, if you get B rushed, right, against 5 players and you lose the first round without even getting a kill, it's so difficult to justify a retake. So definitely it's a good idea from North to actually put a bit more of control towards this part of the map. Earlier, Vitality won't rush, and we have that boost up, but it's caught by Valde up in the window room. So now for a change, North have the man advantage. This is something they've not dealt with a lot. More specifically, this is going to be difficult for Vitality with only 1 belt of utility, nothing else. MBK has crept out, but they're aware of the possibility that smoke on Rad going down again, and MBK winning his duel. A crucial refrag here to Vitality. He'll just back out, and still North commit with a very heavy B setup. 2 of the 4 players there, with a 3rd in the window ready to rotate. The thing is, that bomb's coming in through the apartments here, and there's still 2 players underpass right now for Vitality. Boost coming through, and knowing that North are down a man, this part of the map could be free, and with Kierby caught out on short, that will open up the B site for another rush.
Back to basics, back to B, and this is where AZ really has to show his worth. He doesn't have anything, no Molotov, no smoke, nothing to delay this play. That's been kind of the issue for North, bit of a reoccurring problem. If he doesn't buy any time, then these rotations won't be here, and it's likely going to be another save. So AZ, lots of pressure. He's able to pick up the first dinks down Zywoo. Maybe that's going to tempt North to go for something, and that's largely going to be on the back of this flank from Valde. If he picks up this kill, now North, they look tempted. They pick the pace up. Valde going to go ahead and leave the apartments, opting instead to regroup with Cadian. And ooh, so often is this a spot that gets wallbanged. Going to try and maintain that surprise factor right now. Valde joining up with his leader over on short. They do have the kit, but they have to pick up the pace. That time has been ticking down for a while. Zywoo out into the open. Alex in with the trade, he just has to keep them off the bomb. Valde taps it, and if he doesn't find this, then there's no chance. He gets the kill, but there's no time left. Vitality, a 7th round. In spite of Valde's best efforts, 3 frags for him in that one.
Oh, couldn't even save the AWP. It was just behind the car, but a little bit too far away. You could see Vitality, because of these constant saves from North and the fact that these two CTs were creeping up into the B bomb site, ZywOo was expecting the save. He just gets caught rotating, trying to run from the bomb. And they knew that Valde was last seen in the apartments as well, so they didn't want to exit back through that and get caught by an holding player with that AUG. So almost comes back to haunt Vitality, but the timer saves them. And a 7-1 lead on the start of Mirage. This is damn good for Vitality. They've come into today looking fresh. North again bouncing, or trying to bounce back with another buy round, and they have got the weapons behind it, but their second tactical pause this early on, and yeah, they've got to go for it. I mean, it's 7-1, you need a response. This B site has been a huge hassle early and late round for North. Vitality taking big advantage of that. Topping the charts are the usual suspects into this game, Valde and ZywOo, both sitting 7-3. I'm excited to see this AWP battle now between Cadian and ZywOo.
Yeah, most definitely, especially when you do consider, you know, that was kind of the key to success for North when they met Vitality last time around. We saw Cadian performing out of his mind in that series, and that was what was required to get ZywOo on the back foot. Now this time, he's posted up over here towards the apartments, able to land that shot onto AZ. So once again, man advantage taken early on for Vitality. Anywhere that North try and take this aggression, they're running into these Vitality players and not able to win their fights. Once more, that pressure now applied toward the B bomb site, and you can see the effect this has had. Valdes had to rotate away from mid. Instead now opting to play inside of this B bomb site. Cadian now peels off as well, and that leaves Gade on his lonesome at A. The issue they're going to face is MBK up in Palace. He's been playing this almost every single round, just working this A bomb site. And even if he isn't finding kills, the information he gets, the pressure he's able to exert, and the fact that, you know, he is allowed to potentially get an immediate reply if anything happens elsewhere, then that position does kind of become very, very valuable to Vitality. Now sneaking down through middle, and no one here from North to keep an eye on that fact. It's going to be Valde and Cadian who have to try and contend with this connector push.
Gade smokes off the ramp as well, but no one's coming from there. 30 seconds as Vitality make their presence known. They line up the Gade, but still 2 entries behind it. Despite low HP on RPK, Vitality have another bomb site, and North, they have another save. They can't even go for it. Apex will kill his teammate. Vitality clearly love that. You can see that nade just clip the corner of the missile silo in the spawn. Unfortunate, but it won't cost them the round because North are already on the save. They're already deep within the B bomb site. Vitality's conditioning of North by continually hitting B in these man advantage situations caused them to go for another heavy stack, and as a result, North get caught out by the change of pace, the rotation back towards A. So 8-1 here, Harry. Yet to see any kind of response from North on this CT side, and again with these constant saves, it somewhat not forces you to continue buying up, but definitely tempts you to do so. So really, with North only holding 2 guns here, they can drop.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine they're going to, right? Because at some point you do have to start getting back into this game. I mean, you can't just keep saving forever. We will see this buy come in, and yeah, the weapons dropped across. Maybe from North this time we see them switch things up. Maybe try to go for that mid-aggression. That was something that worked for them in rounds prior. Almost. Cadian was able to do a decent job there. Because that's kind of been the real issue, is they haven't been able to really hold a presence anywhere on this map. Vitality have been given a lot of room to maneuver, been allowed to get very, very comfortable. This time North stacking 3 players over at this A bomb site. Does look like it's going to be the right call to make. Ooh. Cadian somewhat smokes himself off. ZywOo and RPK immediately finding openers. Now the double man under Palace, that's something that could catch Vitality unaware. They've already found a man here, so will they be ready for Valde? As he looks to avenge Gade, his fallen brethren, and he lets ZywOo cross. Valde, sneaky as ever, 2 kills come in quickly, and Valde sprays down everybody. The trigger discipline, the perfect play in that double man hold down under Palace does go unnoticed, so North cementing a second round.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Vitality, considering, as you said, they've had MBK and the Palace near enough every single round on this T side, and the one time they go for a full A execute with a mid-split, there's no one in Palace to molly under Balk. Now, of course, you can throw that rebound molly in from Tetris, but as you said, after Gabe made his presence known, Vitality assumed it was cleared. They assumed they'd gotten that only kill from the A player. Now it's North bouncing back with their second round. Now they've got to keep this going because they don't want Vitality to crush their money and get that reset. Cadian smoked off in the connector. He can't find a mid pick and the flashes pressure him back, so he's got to give that up. Again, middle control taken by Vitality. They've had a great job of doing this round after round. Kierby close in the connector and they won't check it. Apex runs right by to his death. So a man advantage for North, and Kierby tries to get a little bit done, but it won't work out. It's a flank and spawn, and this round is going crazy. Vitality caught out on all edges of the map. Cadian hitting a shot with the AWP, and while Zywoo will pressure him off, surely this one's a little bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, as incredible, as inhuman as we've seen this man look, this one surely is too much to ask, and indeed it is. North, a third round going to be confirmed here over on the CT side. And there you go, I mean, difference there in that round, right? As you see, they give up mid, but that's because this time around they have Valder down in those lower tunnels. He went on a big flank. What that meant was is that they were allowed to rotate that player off of B. They had a four-man hold, so many crosshairs able to take flight and find those frags down in mid on the back of the information play from Valder, not just sitting top of the server and also being the man to get all the information for his team. Buy is available to Vitality at the very least, but in comparison to what we're used to seeing from them, this really isn't a very strong buy. Zywoo even going to get relegated down to a Galil.
It's an important buy nonetheless, though. They can still pick it up with just these rifles. We've seen these fast B plays time after time for Vitality in the past. Early triple B setup here, and Cadian locks down mid with a tag to Zywoo. That Molotov will not force him out into the open because Zywoo predicts it and moves back behind middle. Does not want to be up for the chopping block. Hazy's even boosted up as well because we did have that early triple B play, so it allowed for Valdi to lock down the apartments while Hazy gets aggressive on Cat. They should know that Zywoo's tagged up, and Valdi's even won his duel towards B. I like the switch up of positioning. Put your star player in the position where North have been having problems, so Valdi wins his fight. Apex is off boost by Underpass, gets Cadian. Now the mid pressure really is off here for Vitality. We've not got anyone fighting towards it, but as I say that, they move two players back into the window. AZ's still up on Catwalk with this AWP, and therefore A, well, Vitality don't know it, is looking like the best choice right now. And MBK, another crucial swinging entry, pulling back the advantage for Vitality, and a smoke towards the spawn will cut off any potential of North challenging him here. He's just trying to keep up the pressure, and the thing is, North have given up B in the meantime, so Vitality with three players walking right into a near empty bomb site.
Only AZ here, and he has had a bit of a problematic time over at B. With the AWP, he's trying to make a stand, flanked on round, is RPK to pick it up, but Valder now arriving at short, bomb dropped, 30 seconds left on this clock, and North, they're in with the rotation, it falls to MBK. The man has been exerting all that pressure over at A, been causing North so many problems, now left once again to his own devices in a 1-on-2. Valder's over at bench, and he does have this crossfire set up with Kierby. MBK making noise, and Valder peeking wide. Just going to take the fight straight up. The double peek would have come in from Kierby had Valder been dealt with, so the trade should have been found. A very difficult round for MBK to try and get back into.
Valder is on form today, and that's a terrifying sign for Vitality. He's currently sitting at the same amount of kills as the next two best players on his team. So definitely the player that you want stepping up into a crucial matchup that decides your qualification to the new challenger stage of the major. And that's broken the money of Vitality. So pistols upon pistols as North just start to get back into the CT side. That's a great start though. Apex, he's dropped Valdi in middle. We need someone to step up, and Cadian will answer the call. Gade even winning his duel in through a ramp. So it was a bit of a scary start for North, but they bounced back quite well within a few seconds. RPK may have found himself into the connector, but Gade will not let him pass. Zywoo trying to get out onto A, and this orb's already here for Cadian. So right now it's coming all up North. Alex now, what can he do?
up in his apartments. It's a very lonely round for Alex, and yeah, he's in this 1v4. There is a man over at short. AZ keeping an eye on it. Homed in with that AUG. We've seen how deadly this weapon has become, how into the meta it is now. We're very much in an AUG meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, for North. Augmented reality CT side is working brilliantly. Since getting these weapons in hand, they've looked very, very good. Valdez seems so comfortable with it. And yeah, it's just AUGs across the board. Cadian on the AWP. That's a sight you never thought you would have seen a couple of, I was going to say years ago, but even months ago.
Yeah, it's the scoped kids on the block here for North. And Vitality do have that AWP again in the hands of ZywOo. No armor, so watch out for those bombs. We'll be going for that fast mid pick. North would like to challenge this window time and time again, but he'll just hold on to the connector. Ooh. Through the legs of his teammate. And even Cadian's gone aggressive here in the Palace. A nice switch up of things, trying to stop MBK from doing what he's been doing best this game. However, he's not there now. It's a fast mid play with Valde by the smoke, and he is just tearing through these Vitality players. 3 kills on that AUG. It almost isn't fair.
I mean, this is kind of exactly what you need to see. We needed to have a player be stepping up for North, and Valde really showing up at the right time here to allow for this recovery. Let's not forget, I mean, this was an 8-1 scoreline at one point in time. North winning the last 4 in a row, looking like they might make it 5 consecutive rounds in order to have really salvaged this CT side half. Of course, top-rated player of the EU Minor thus far is Valde. Coming in just behind them is ZywOo, the man over on Vitality right now. So this really is the clash of the Titans.
Valde's just not giving up, is he? 4 frags into middle this round. He's about to find his 20th, and we're not even 1 half in. Could be the ace if he finds Alex, and yeah, there it is, Valde, an ace, shutting down the full buy of Vitality. Almost looks too easy for him. 8-6 here. North have recovered it fantastically from this start. The Vitality did show us on the T side. Good adaptation, good bit of aggression we've seen. Switch up of positions with Valde, controlling B when Vitality have gone towards that in recent rounds. And now an awkward spot where we're going into the last round of the half of Vitality, but look at their money. They can barely get a full buy. I mean, they can't get a full buy.
Yeah, they're really going to be struggling. And actually, Apex, even them making that decision to pick up the Galil is one that's maybe a little bit surprising. He was one of the 2 players who could have afforded an AK. So Vitality making it a priority to go for that extra utility. I'm really liking this, almost rivalry between Valde and ZywOo to be the top performer. If you recall, the best performance we've seen in a half thus far in the EU Minor was ZywOo when he went 22-6 on Nuke versus North. Valde now sits 20-5. He's looking to try and outdo a little record that ZywOo set for them. Trying to show that anything he can do, Valde can do better.
Oh, look at this aggression as well. AZ attempted this in a few rounds prior, but this time he's actually thrown in a bit of a hold towards the corner. Kiebi supporting and trying to bake them in. Now, Vitality do go towards this B site. They've not had to deal with this position before from AZ, so do they check it? That's the question. The deep utility has certainly alluded to the fact that North have some control here, and I think Alex is aware of that, so 4 players set up outside of B for Vitality. They've got to make that decision. Do we want to commit here so early on? Now, their buy is weak, so it does lend itself to a B execute. That being said, these SMGs are going to be lethal up close, so AZ, he's really got to hope that Kiebi can bail him out somewhat. Smoke's being lined up for Vitality. A solo man in the underpass to try and catch any potential aggression from North, but the re-smoke from Kiebi couldn't come at a better time. Putting a big halt on this push from Vitality. They don't care, they're going right through. The spray is there, the Molotov burning at their feet, and Kiebi, he needs no help. 3 kills from him. They do not expect AZ after that madness, and I don't blame them. Apex the last man up, and in through the smoke. It's going to be a 7th round. North, what a recovery. If this can continue, then I think we have a real game on our hands. But that's 1 half done. We've got a 2nd to come. Join us after the break.
This first half was a story of streaks upon streaks. We saw Vitality move 8-1 up at one point in time, and North able to chain together 6 in a row, salvage very reputable CT side from what was a dire situation. Look like they're going to try and continue that momentum they picked up with what was looking like a faster A play early on, but on top of spotting players at ramp, they've decided to fall back, and this has kept 4 players inside of this A bomb site for Vitality as they turn their attention back around. The Frenchman trying to be one step ahead. The one thing that maybe makes you think this could all culminate in an A fake is that you still have AZ up here in Palace. Alternatively, you can try and use him as that lurker to try and cut off these rotations. So options still open for North here. They have a minute and 15 left. They haven't expelled much, if any, of their utility just yet, aside from that one flashbang that was thrown out towards the A bomb site early on. And indeed, it will culminate back towards this A bomb site. AZ hasn't heard any aggression down towards the ramp. He's just been biding his time. 3 players of Vitality over in connector. So if these 2 smokes are used for the cross, one up on stairs, and then one at the crossroads as well, they will be nullifying the majority of this A hold for the Frenchman.
But that's fine, they can play for retake. Vitality have Apex in the spawn with a kit and a smoke. So 38 seconds as these smokes from North will be lined up over A, and Apex is going to have free reign. He's actually going to try and fight, won't be giving up this site for free, wants to try and get a couple of kills. Teammates pressuring from the smoke as well. They'll push him by the bench, and Gade's already found that opening kill, actually doubling with the P250 until the trade eventually is found by ZywOo. And these CTs are just getting sectioned off by the smokes. Vitality getting torn apart by North. The Glocks reign supreme. And Alex is all that stands now between North and a pistol round. It seems like he won't be able to hold much longer. 8 taken by the Danish. A nice execute to start things off over on this T pistol round. Now Vitality, they've got to make the question, do we want to force buy? Do we want to play for that 4th round buy with all the trimmings, with the AWP? Or do we just want to eco and get that early buy-in? And at this kind of scoreline, it's more common that you would see, you know, an early buy, but Vitality, they are French, Harry, and we know the French love a good force.
Oh, they most certainly do. Plus, as well, it has that added benefit of allowing them to bring up the AWP in the eventual buy that will come in at round 4. In the event they lose this round, and they decide, on top of seeing that early aggression down at ramp, they're just going to hedge their bets, rotate players on round towards this A bomb site, and that is the wrong call to make. RPK does manage to get back in toward B. That leads him to try and hold down the site, and that means that, RPK, these rotations can come through. They're here. He's bought so much time. North barely even with their foot in the door. Valda in with the return. A critical kill to find, but more players pushing up, and Valda's not ready for it. Quick flick round onto Apex, but Alex in with the trade, and it's very back and forth into the 2-on-2 in North. They're going to head for the hills. They run back away from this B bomb site. Looking like it could be the death of them in this round. Just Cadian and Kierby left standing. On the upside, at least, it's the 2 players without armor remaining for Vitality. ZywOo's going to get the information that the B apartments are clear, and you can see that now MBK holding over at the jungle. ZywOo even allowed to retrieve an AK, but he maintains his position at this B bomb site. Kierby wrapping around, and if he's able to pick up MBK here, this should be the North round, but no, that Deegs tagged him down. North, this is getting dangerous now, and they know it. As that timer ticks down, they're under more and more pressure. Eventually, that bomb just has to get planted, and that means ZywOo, he can just hide. If Cadian doesn't spot him, which he doesn't, now as he gets this bomb, now might anticipate that the B bomb site is clear. ZywOo gonna wait for NBK to get into position. They want to try and play this one together.
Oh, there's always that wallbang potential, but ZywOo would rather the element of surprise, and the shot missed from Cadian. Now he's susceptible to going down. They can just spam this wall, and MBK jumps in through the window to finish things off. That's 2 AK saved. That's an eco win from Vitality. Of course, they did force by that round, but it seemed like North could have gotten away with it when it got back into the 2-on-2. They decided to split, throw Kierby on the flank to come in from the market and backstab those B players, or potentially backstab those B players, but unfortunately caught out in the window. And really nice eco from Vitality. I love the fact that RPK, after he gets 2 kills, they don't fall back and let North play their own round and react accordingly. They just pressure. They run into the bomb site here and get super aggressive. And you can see that kill to AZ, who was fully blinded by his own teammate's flashbang as well. So a bit of an issue from North in terms of utility. It comes back to haunt them. They lose the B site and they lose their follow-up round after winning pistol, so now they are on the back foot. Do not elect to continue these forced buy wars.
And here's where you can kind of see as well the level of which North was saving over in that first half. There's 64 kills currently over on the side of North. Meanwhile, for Vitality, they've only got 34, and the scoreline is this close. Apex and Zywoo both picking up kills down in mid. That's one prong on this split dealt with. They're going to go ahead and mop up the remaining players. And okay. One found. AZ's somehow able to glock down MVK, but that will be it. Vitality springing themselves 2 rounds up over the Danes, but a bye is on the horizon at the very least.
That was an unfortunate smoke miss as well from North. They had 2 smokes in that round. One of them lands on the jungle cross, but the other one gets missed. And that was for the bomb plant in the center site to allow North to actually try and get a bomb down. But you can see it's so open and these rifles just reign supreme. Vitality not allowing North to gain that extra money from the plant. The buy will be here regardless. However, look how weak it is. They've got the guns, nothing behind them though. 2 smokes, a Molotov and 3 flashbangs. Very nice spray from Apex to start things off, and while he gets no kills and he actually doesn't know how much damage he's done, it will be extremely important. Luckily enough for North, an entry kill on a very necessary round to win if they want to keep this close. Apex holding Cat, but he has to give it up, so Gade's already pushed himself in, and this boost could be well timed. The issue is, once Alex is spotted, Gade can get aggressive and try and take down this close player. For the meantime, he's not going to know because no one's fighting in middle. Gade catches a shadow, but he's not going to hit the shot. RBK with a crucial refrag to pull it back into a 4-on-4.
Yeah, Gade was lined up on the perfect angle, but you saw that RPK, very fortunate, kind of just clips up onto the, I don't know, like trimming over it. Yeah. Over it. I don't know what you call that, like little
elevated
edge.
Part.
Yeah. So he's spared. And that has provided them the equalizer. North going to be setting up for the A-bomb site. They do have Cadian ready to push in through the lower tunnels. Maybe going to try and cut off some of these rotations. Also gives them the option to plant this bomb for mid, and then he can just look to keep an eye on it. But that relies on North winning these fights and getting into the bomb site. The issue they're going to have is there's no smokes. And that Molotov really does cause them problems in that regard. They've got nothing to extinguish it, so they have no choice but to wait. Now, as players get spotted, rotation's already peeling around. Vitality, they realize this has to be the A execution. This has to be the play. Zywoo underneath Palace, not going to find much. Instead, it's MBK to mop up the 2 players that try to get into this bomb site. Valdez left standing, and he will get polished off. MBK with 3, RPK with 2, and it's the old dogs of Vitality showing up for them there to secure that 11th round.
Yeah, and that earlier damage from Apex in middle really did come and pay its dividends for Vitality. So many of those players tagged up upon the execution. Left them in a very awkward spot. Here's RPK getting that frag to Gade again as well. And yeah, that's unfortunate for North, as you said. The lack of utility definitely coming back to haunt them. They didn't throw the traditional jungle smoke. They threw one that landed just to cut off the connector, which obviously, you know, is great for, you know, forcing these CTs to play passive, but Vitality didn't want to do that. They'd rather take the fights, and now they're going to be tasked with doing the exact same thing over on B. It's RBK alone on the truck, but they already spotted him on the jump, so he's easily up for the chopping block. Alex caught midair, and Valde is going to find himself a double entry to open up this site, but Apex with the spray may be able to keep this under control for Vitality. It's down to the 2-on-1. Gade's not got a gun to play with, and he's already running low on ammo.
Yeah, they're pressuring. They know they have him down low. They have him stuck, trapped inside of this B bomb site. And Gade, 9 bullets left in this CZ. Certainly not ideal. There's weapons around, but that smoke, that thing that's giving him a tiny bit of room to maneuver, a little bit of cover, tiny shroud to play with, is going to dissipate. He's been able to retrieve another. So now maybe he can look to throw this down, use that as his tool to get the bomb. Sadly, MBK is in with that reply, so try as Gade might to isolate those engagements, force those players into 1v1s. The nade is able to finish him off before that gets out of control. Vitality up 12-8. They slowed down a lot towards the end of that second half. Obviously, we saw North chain together 6 rounds in a row, rather. But since getting onto this CT side and winning that force buy in the second, everything's been coming up Vitality.
That's such an unfortunate round to lose as well, considering Valde got 2 entries into the B-bomb site, and then instantly Apex dives through the window with a double spray down, so 5-on-3 did not helping them out in terms of winning the round, and now North have to fall by again to keep themselves in this. But Harry, there's only 4 rounds between Vitality and a win on their map pick.
Yeah, but I mean, that said, we're looking at this as though, everything has been looking great for Vitality. Sure, they win that force in the second. And the reason why, we're kind of speaking about these is, it's so close to the North. Shame that they lose out, but you have to remember, these have been, for the most part, force buys or, relatively little invested, and they've still been coming down to the wire. You still feel like North have had a chance in some of these rounds. Now that they have this full buy, they have the rifles out, they have all the utility, they have the firepower to go toe-to-toe with Vitality. This could be a real danger here for the French squad.
We've got Alex on this secondary AWP in the apartment. He gets boosted up. Valde missing that opening pick onto the A site. And now they know he's here as well. They had their backs turned. That could have been an early advantage taken by North, but they do have deep B control. Kiebi going to give it up nice and early. He does force out a lot of utility from Vitality, and this does end in an A play. There's not going to be many nades left for the retake. That's if North can get all of them out, because we still have 2 Molotovs and a couple of smokes as well behind that. But it's early days here with the kill yet to go either way. Alex still challenging towards the B apartments as well, so he has a big line of sight, lots of information that North aren't hitting B. They run boost their way into middle, knowing that these AWPs are definitely going to be a factor in a full buy round like this. MBK, little does he know, he's got to watch his back. 3 players crawling in through the connector. It's Apex on the crossfire as well, but MBK waiting for contact and the timing. He turns, Kiebi finds the entry, and there's 30 seconds left, but Zywoo only gets 1 from the back of the CT spawn, so this is all coming up North right now.
Oh, but Alex's position on short now very valuable. That bomb going to get planted for CT. That's the only real bit of real estate the North have been able to get, but as they drop Alex over in mid, this round should be drawing to a close. Only RPK left standing, and he's going to make it a priority to hold on to a weapon if he can. He would love to retrieve that AWP that's dropped over on short, but the issue he's going to face is that Valde, he knows this is the object of RPK's desires. He's already rotated onto it. Will get mopped up, so the option is still there for that to be retrieved. And you can see Katie, and the reason why he's just sat inside of A right now is you bet his sights homed in on short, waiting for RPK to go to try and retrieve that big green gun. Positioning of Valde somewhat suggests to RPK that that is the plan, so he's just going to go ahead and hold on to the M4 in this round. North finding a 9th. Keeping 2 players live. That AWP still going to be in play, and for Vitality, of course, over on this CT side. We kind of mentioned how the rounds that they were picking up weren't the cleanest, weren't the closest, and that means that the money's a little bit low over for the CT side. So we're going to be running glass cannon, the rest of the guys cobbling a buy together. Alex relegated down to the CZ, MBK on a UMP, a handful of utility here and there. It is less than ideal. That nade able to find a lot of damage early. Katie had even brought down a 1 HP, so they might not have the most ideal buy, but they've certainly gotten off to a great start.
Oh, and AZ's just been spotted as well. He might be able to catch MBK getting aggressive, and certainly does. Tries to push off the contact made from jungle, but AZ was 1 step ahead in the meantime. The rest of North hitting B, but we've already got 2 A entry kills. Make that a 3rd. Valde hits 30 kills here with only 9 rounds to North name. That's ridiculous. And now RPK has to lock down B at a 2-on-5. He's found a couple, but the bomb's still here. Kiebi commits to the duel, and that is going to be the worst decision made now for North, because they're stuck with no bomb control. The flank is still here from Valde, so very much a winnable round, but they've got to bail themselves out of this. And Alex is on the wrong angle, watching towards the market. Valde's come through with a crucial kill to pull back the advantage, and RPK, he's alone. Valde is just unstoppable.
Yeah, your Vitality kind of learning what it's like to have someone just perform out of their mind against you. Usually it's them in this situation, right? Normally you kind of have these big heroic performances from the likes of Zywoo. But North, and namely Valde, he is just looking unstoppable. As you say, Hugo, they cannot seem to do anything against this guy right now. And the nuts thing about it is usually you can attribute a lot of a player's success to, the team setting him up, the team, creating a lot of the space for him. In so many of these rounds, it has just been Valde off on his own, off on his lonesome, finding so much space, pushing and prodding this Vitality CT side.
And he has as many kills as the bottom 3 teammates on his team. 10 for Cadian, 12 for AZ, 10 for Kiebi, 32 for Valde. Bit of a one-man army here as the money is broken for Vitality, and that's such a swing round as well, because this definitely could have gotten out of control for North. But instead, it's Vitality on the backside of things with not much money to play with. They're going to have to go for an eco. Now, RPK does have a lot of cash saved from that round a couple ago, so he'll be able to drop over the AWP, but they do come back for the buy. But it seems like AWPing really hasn't been the issue so far. Now, a bit of an A play from these two players in Palace, and they know they're up against pistols as well. Gade's already been tagged early on. Bomb towards the top middle, and Vitality just hoping for a roaming A player. They won't be gifted one just yet. We've got this very heavy early rotation from Vitality. They're pulling 4 players back towards the A site. RPK's leaving B. Alex is alone up in the ladder room. North seemingly setting up for a bit of a B play here, so if they go for it, Vitality are going to be, well, completely on the wrong side of the map, completely caught out. And this should be a free round for North.
Yeah, they're going to be getting this B-bomb site entirely for free, as you say. It's just a chance to keep things clean. One thing I'm excited about is, Valde, with the performance he's having, of course, I still think the most kills in a regulation game is 47 over on Config. Another fellow Dane. Valde's looking to try and outdo him. And I tell you what, if he keeps this performance up, he certainly could.
And that was online as well. This is a LAN match. This is where all the pressure is really on. The stakes are high. Now, no kills coming through for North, no kills needed. It's a free bomb site taken. Vitality splitting up, separating and looking for exits. I like this position towards the back of the apartments as well. The same way that Vitality, once they took B every time, they would always rotate back through the apartments. They're expecting North to do the same thing. And a couple of players certainly will. Gates needing to go very, very deep into apps considering that bomb radius. But got a bit of a bodyguard duo with him. AZ's playing close, so it shouldn't be a problem for North to hold on to these guns. RBK tries to take the fight, and you can see Gage just desperately getting out of there. AZ has his back covered, and North won't lose a man in this round, so money going to be starting to build here on the Danish side. Certainly a good sign of things to come, considering now we're 1 round away from equalization. Vitality having another buy round, and North could take the lead here and now off the back of 1 single rifle. So that AWP dropped over into the hands of ZywOo, and if there was a time for him to step up, this would be it.
Most definitely. He's going to be taking it in towards window and won't spy anything at this portion of the map early. You can see Gade is just hanging back, passive, instead holding to see if any aggression comes out from this Vitality roster. AZ once again going to be working Palace while the rest of the squad's setting up outside of B. Going to see if they can find something here. And this is being jump peak, missed shot from KD, and RPK not too keen on going back to that position. They throw in their Molotov, and they hear that they've baited out a lot of utility there from these B players, and Sindri, a smoke, all gets dropped at this B bomb site. Still everything left in the tank over on the side of North, as they haven't had to expel any utility yet to take this much presence over in middle. Very lax mid control from the Frenchman. But this is where you're looking for your mid-hold to come into its own. You have this crossfire set up between Alex and Apex. ZywOo in the window. This is that 3-man tag team that Alex is supposed to be setting up and creating space for. There we go, he's in with the first. And a second at that, before the trade comes through, it's Valde once more to pick it up. Is there anything this man can't seem to do? He still has to put a lot more hurt down range if North want to get back into this round. And Apex holding close. Won't quite land anything. Gade gonna go ahead and tag Apex to 19 HP in through that smoke. The bomb goes down, it's North 3-on-3, and now a 2-on-3 in the post plant.
Yeah, but Apex is still low, and there's no kit up on Vitality, at least for the time being, as this push starts to come through. AZ going to be met with the first man, and that's just the information player, the low HP going down. RPK with the trade of Valde. He needs to step up again, but of course, in a 1v1, ZywOo jumping on the bomb, and Valde, he doesn't realize, but he will go through. finishing off the round, finding the kill, 35 to his name and 12 for North. It will come down to the wire, but a win is a win. The massive swing play there in that round was AZ up in the Palace. He's able to peek wide before the execute comes through the connector, and not only does he spot one man in jungle, but he also sees the man in CT. That allows North to throw in the utility, cut off the jungle. AZ wins that duel that you can see, and that puts North in a great spot to close out the round. So 12-12, all equaled up, and Vitality out of cash.
It's back to the drawing board, and bit of a desperation play out toward the top of mid. They do get a lot of information from this. In this round, North have opted instead to group all 5 players up at B. Only issue to this is the information is one thing. You've lost that B bomb site, and that's a whole other issue that they're going to have to try and deal with. Chance of finding something in this forced, or partial buy rather, somewhat goes out the window. Bomb's already ticking down. There's no kits. Alex has retrieved himself an AK, so you bet he's hoping he can hold on to that. And ZywOo's going to go with him, acting like a bit of a bodyguard for this one rifle. North, though, as you pointed out, Hugo, they will be springboarding themselves into the lead.
No chasing players for North. Now, they did lose 4 in the previous, so not wanting a similar situation. They'd rather build up their own cash than prohibit Vitality from saving one gun. Not a huge issue. That gun does make all the difference though when it comes to buying up in this round. You can see money is going to be fine for Vitality, and that AWP is again going to be in play, but the question is, do North even pull their own out? Because they don't need to. They've got money for it, but they've also still got full rifles, and yeah, Gade's going to stay on the SMG, 4 AKs instead. North not playing necessarily this pick-based style or slow start. They've been taking immediate mid-control and lots of executions as well. They'll go back for another one over on this A site. Quick smokes being set up and a retake here for Vitality. The only kit on MBK in the spawn. So at least it's close by to this A site, and the nade's already raining through. His Molotov to try and deny a triple box plant, but that nade will push him back, and the smoke as well. It's Valdi finding the opener, unsurprising there into the jungle. Apex gets caught rotating back into A, and North now sit with a man advantage as a retake. I mean, it's going to be attempted, but this won't be easy for Vitality. Look at these post plants, and also the flank coming through from Valdi.
He's going on a very long wrap indeed. A bit of a journey for Valde as he looks to try and pad these stats even more. North, they know they can afford to take this sort of rotation as they do have the man advantage, but ZywOo spots him out. So maybe that's a bit more tempting now for Vitality. Man advantage still maintained, and yeah, they're just going to back off. They have to play things safe. They want to try and hold on to these weapons because they will have very little money into the next round, and Kjaerbye dropping RPK. That now kind of puts a bit of a question mark above Vitality. Thankfully, Alex with $7,800 going to be good to drop for the rest of his team, so there still will be a buy for the Frenchman here.
Last tactical pause from Vitality as well. North, I mean, look at this comeback. As you said earlier, an 8-1 lead for Vitality. They were looking so good on their T side. It fell apart with a huge streak from North, bringing it back to 8-7. And since then, this second half has been all theirs. Despite the pistol and the early start from Vitality that they've had now on both halves, when it comes to these rifle rounds, North are coming up top trumps.
And one of the craziest things was, you think about the level of impact that Valde was having over on the CT side as an individual. That is so difficult to do, to just only have, really one player stepping up and still have him create space, create opportunities and find rounds over on a CT side. Moving to the T side, that's kind of, a IGL's dream. Cadian's feeling very, very happy at this point in time. He knows he can just direct, but it is as simple as Valde, go kill. And he's being able to find these openers. No one on Vitality stepping up in the same way to answer back. ZywOo going to try for the mid peak, and he does land that shot. So for the first time in a while, Vitality going to be picking up an early man advantage. In response to this though, North, they shake things up, they change the pace, and they're looking to go for a fast play into this B bomb site, and that miss there from Alex could be crucial.
Yeah, followed up with a frag from Valde. The repeat going to be expected. And North, after that kill, they've drawn a lot of rotations back towards B, but they are going on a flank of their own. Wrapping that bomb in through the T spawn and ending this one with an A execute. Now, it's okay for Vitality to go and stack B because they have that kit for the retake, but they're still in a 4-on-4 giving up the bomb site. And you can see they don't know, because they've given up A, if North had a player in Palace lurk out and take this A control, which has allowed for this rotation. So MBK is being very cautious towards the spawn in case of that possibility. They've got to give away the bomb site. Simple as that. Vitality cannot contest this plant from North. The only question is, how did North get here? No utility to do it. No smoke for the cross. A single Molotov to potentially keep a player back from CT, but that's coming in through the jungle on Gade. Trying to clear out these close angles. 40 seconds. More than enough time for North, but MBK not going to be challenging, so we may see this bomb plant after all, unless he can peek out and catch Valde. Not sure why Valde's planting the bomb considering his kill count, but it will be going through. Cadian's found a kill up on short as well, and that bomb plant getting dropped. There's no one close to trade. There's no one watching that plant as well. So ZywOo gets himself another kill, and Vitality are starting to pick up the pieces of this round. 15 seconds. The flank from Gade needs to be activated, and he finds both. Saving the day here for North with 15 seconds remaining, and that is going to be the kick in the teeth for Vitality. The money getting broken again, and North hitting map point on their opponent's map pick.
And that's even with Valde, you know, somewhat being fed to the wolves. It looked like that was going to be the round for Vitality when they dropped that bomb, but it was the flank from Gade. And this is where you kind of realize the importance of not only that kill at B, the effect that it had. When they're able to find Alex, ZywOo rotates off of mid, and just giving up mid for those few seconds meant that he couldn't go re-peeking back into it. You had Apex having to play very passively over on short. ZywOo as well was having a hold for the window boost. They had no information what was going on in this round. ZywOo, quick double down in middle as the young star for Vitality now starting to find his footing a little bit. Valde, the man who's been shining that much brighter up through connector. They won't have eyes on him once more. Just stellar decision-making on his part to create so much room, and actually the timing, MBK just misses him. So as far as they're aware, there's no one up in jungle right now. No one could have done this. Valde has caught the perfect timing to make this happen. Time and time again, he's been able to create so much room, so many opportunities for North. There's the flank, the pincer comes in, MBK falls at ramp, ZywOo's been dropped in CT, and Vitality, it's RPK and Apex trying to run the gauntlet, but Valde, 40 kills in regulation. That is mind-blowing. Alex in a 1v2, 14 HP to his name. He's going to try and reroute back through CT, throws that one flash out from jungle. But this is such a big ask, and going to try and get it done with the AWP. He is tag low. One flashbang to try and force some of these fights, but AZ lands it North. 16-12. What a recovery. Let's not forget it was 8-1 in favor of Vitality at one point in time. Not that you would know it. And Valde, take a bow. Take a pat on the back. 40-13. A phenomenal performance from him. And now the question becomes, can North, can Valde keep this up heading into the second map? We'll find out after a quick break.